When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But life gave me two Tissot PRX, 40mm and 35mm. So I don't know what to do. In the last couple of decades, the standard for wristwatches have gone up. The average now is 42mm, and it's pretty crazy because if that is average, there's definitely bigger watches out there. And you know, you have beautiful watches like the Navitimer, or you have beautiful watches like the Panera, you know, at 45mm. But what really has contributed to this insanity is the fashion watches. Fashion watches usually tend to have next to no complication except showing you the time, and they're terribly big. I will never understand why they made them so big. And you know, I think Tudor in 2018 has really opened the gates to smaller watches. I mean, when they released the Black Bay 58, when they took the heritage from 41 and 15mm in thickness and went down to 39 and 11.3 in thickness, that is when, you know, the public's reaction was absolutely phenomenal. It was pretty much the exact same watch. Not much has changed in the looks of the Black Bay, but the sizing was, that watch was perfected. And it gave other brands an idea that maybe going small is not actually that bad of a thing. You know, maybe going small is something that we should start doing. And it's something that I started doing as well. If you spend any time on Instagram, or if you have spent any time on Instagram in the last 2 years, you probably have noticed the wild trend of old money. And as we're starting to ditch this fashion of, you know, nonsense, and started to go more and more back to the traditional ways of dressing, and, you know, men being more masculine and women more feminine with super simple and classic and elegant looking outfits, is kind of when I started to notice as well a little shift in the watch industry. Although I've reviewed this watch in the past, this video is not really for people that just want to get introduced to Tissot PRX. This is for you who know about the watch, you want to get the watch, but you're a little bit confused about the color maybe. Should you get it on a bracelet? And most importantly, the size. And I want to focus on the size because I have two, right? The 40mm and the 35mm. And one thing I can say is that large watches look good on large wrists, but small watches look good on every wrist. And I want to make this video as a comparison between the watches and kind of showcase it on my wrist, on, you know, how the watch wears around the house, building a project or working on a project, even something as simple as making coffee. So let's make coffee. Remember when I previously talked about old money, masculine, feminine, and things like that? People do actually believe to this day that small watches are more feminine, or they're for women, and the big watches are for men. But the thing is, big, loud, and obnoxious watches, they take away from your character, from your personality, and from your outfit, as a man even. And although watches before used to be a tool, right now they're an accessory. And when you accessorize, you have to do it correctly. I bet you couldn't even tell which watch I'm wearing right now because they are just so similar. The 40mm and the 35mm. I can pull them both absolutely perfect. But the thing with the small watches is they fall under the radar. And that is the one thing that I really start to like about it. It's a conversation starter for sure, but it's only a conversation starter with the right people. With people that have a good eye for watches, for people that will spot a good timepiece, you know, even if it's half hidden under your cuff. But the big, loud, obnoxious watches, they will definitely get the attention of the wrong people as well. And I'm not saying that the Tissot PRX in 40 millimeters is a loud and obnoxious piece. No, that's not even close. It wears absolutely beautiful until you get the chance to spend time with the 35 millimeter. I'm not too sure if this video did justice to both of these watches. I'm not here to change your mind in any way, shape or form whether you should go big or small. But if there's one thing that I could say by making this video and spending a full day with both of these watches, I'm sold. I'm sold on the smaller, I'm sold on the 35mm PRX. And at least I hope that it helped you to make a decision whether you should go with the bigger watches or the smaller watches. So this is, I think, is just everyone's journey. At the end of the day, it really comes down to your taste preference, and for everyone that despises small watches and usually is a lover of something big and loud, more power to you. But I know that there's people out there that can pull both of these watches off and might be a little bit confused on what looks better on them. And if you're ever wondering if a watch is too big for your wrist, then it probably is. Simple as that.